Hello, my name is Sarah Cameron and I'm a student in Introduction to Food Science, FOS 3042 at the University of Florida. And I am here today to discuss the nutritional fact label and how the new fact labels on products differ from old fact labels. Specifically, minor changes but have big impacts to people purchasing. And I will be discussing the new labels with my colleague here, Lacey. And I will explain to her specifically what the changes were made to the fact labels and ask her some questions at the end. So, to begin, I will be using milk, and everyone loves candy. So M&Ms, the fact labels on both of these products to show her specifically how the labels have changed. So to begin with, one of the major changes is that the serving size is now in a larger print and in bold. Before it was not bolded or in a larger print, it was in the same print as the servings per container side. So people would overlook this and think that you would have to search for it. Most people would automatically just look at the calories. The serving size specifically is based on the amount of food that is eaten at one time. So I'll use the M&Ms as an example. This bag of M&Ms has 3 servings per container. So it has the serving size. So the serving size is a third of the pack. So all of the nutrition label on the back of this only counts for 1/3 of what is all in this little container. So this has specifically 140 calories per serving. But that is only one of the 3 serving sizes in here. So you would have to do the math. You want an M&M? Thank you. You're welcome. Okay. Next thing. It's actually not uncommon for packages to have more than just one serving on their labels. It says like serving size for this package is this, and this, but it'll also tell you servings per container. So it's normal for there to be a package that the serving size is for more or less. The serving size is for less than what the package as a whole contains. Yeah. And now I discussed just a second ago was calories. The calories are also compared to the serving size. They're in a bigger font and they're bolded as well, so they can be seen much better and stick out more than anything. The calories come from everything, from the carbohydrates, the fats, the proteins, alcohol content. It is all added together to create that calorie number. It's not something that's just made up and stamped on it. 100 calories per serving is a moderate amount. 400 calories per serving is actually pretty high. This is 140 calories per serving. So it's a moderate amount. It's nothing too bad. But chocolate is also an aesthetic stuff. Who doesn't love chocolate? The calories also help you personally when counting calories. Some people count it. The correct daily calorie intake is 2,000, but that can be adjusted for anyone's basic nutrition values. But one thing to pay attention to is your calorie intake and how much calories you burn a day. So you don't want to be taking in more than you're burning, because then you will begin to put on the weight. And the labels bold this so it can become more apparent for people, so they can see, and it's not that they're not getting the information. They have the information and now it's there, so they don't have to go searching for it. It's bolded and they can just see it right then and there, and they don't have to count their calories. And when they are counting their calories, they don't have to search as hard for it. Alright, next up we have the daily values percentages. Personally, I never knew what these were. They were just percentages to me. Did you know that?
I did not.
You just knew they were percentages of something?
Yeah.
They're just I just thought they were like, oh, it has this percent of something and this percent of that. Which actually, the percentages are scientifically calculated to show how much you can consume and not to exceed consumption. 5%, and we only know like the little percentages. We don't know the big number. But all around, 5% or less is considered low. If you see something that has a 20% daily value on the back of it, that nutrient per serving is very high. So if you want to focus more on your nutrients, if you're a diabetic and you want something that has more sugar in it, or you're trying to lose weight, dietary fibers, if you have high cholesterol, need to focus on any of these specific things, from total fat to cholesterol, sodium, carbs, protein. Everyone has their own focus group. So some people want to focus more toward or their own health issues. So if you have cholesterol issues, you look at that number, sodium issues, and so forth. Okay. Next up is the nutrients on labels. Added sugars has always been something whenever I was a kid, I always looked at it and was like, oh, how much sugar is in this? How much sugar is in that? I'm very sugar conscious. But added sugars is the sugars that are processed. So sugars that they're added in during processing, packaging, the syrups, the honey, fruit concentrate, and then vegetable juices. All of this is added sugars. So if you're eating a fruit cup or whatnot, that is now required to be on the label. And also vitamin D and potassium are also required to be on the label because these are two nutrients that Americans have been, through scientific research, do not get the recommended amounts. So many people are very low in their potassium or very low in vitamin D. Also, what the labels don't require anymore is vitamin A and vitamin C. These are no longer required to be on the nutritional fact label anymore. The vitamins are rare. Deficiencies with these vitamins are rare, so the nutrients won't be voluntarily disclosed. So people don't need to focus on making sure they get these nutrients. They will get them one way or another. It hasn't been scientific. If an issue arrives where people are deficient with these nutrients, then it will be reevaluated and maybe reinstated back onto the labels. So on the bottom of labels, you'll always see that there's a thick bar towards the bottom of the label right here, and then on the milk right there. So it shows you vitamin D, calcium, iron, and potassium. These are nutrients that are also required to be on the label, but these ones are separated from the added sugars, and any label on anything that you purchase now, it has to have vitamin D, calcium, iron, and potassium. But all right, so I have questions for Lacey. And she's going to point them out on the milk because I've been using the M&Ms. Where can you locate the nutrients required on the label?
You can find them below the thick black bar.
I just went over that, but yes. You can. Okay, and now I have two personal questions. Does labeling affect your purchasing decisions? Have you ever looked at the label while you're going through a healthy lifestyle or anything? Does that label affect whether you purchase something or not?
Usually, if I look at a label, I'm looking at calories. I don't usually look at anything else.
Okay, and having the calories bigger and in a bolder font and easier to find, does that help you and make you more likely to buy that product? Definitely. If you can point it out faster.
If it's the first thing I see, definitely.
Okay, and then also, when purchasing the product, you just answered this. Do you examine the nutrition label, or if you do, what products specifically are you looking at the nutrition label for? Like, what products do you look at the nutrition label for?
Well, I am iron deficient, so when I look at nutrition labels, I will also try to see how much iron is in a product. Just an extra boost of iron.
So having this new nutrient required on the label underneath that bold line on the bottom, it's iron is one of the required nutrients that it specifies, so that probably is very helpful to you.
Yes.
Okay. So hopefully I have helped you learn something new too. And yeah, have a great day.